time for air training. We start with a set of 4 words. They sound confusingly similar. As usual, I want them in phonetic transcription and in ordinary spelling to identify them. So our first 4 words are thirst, fast, force, first. Again, thirst, fast, forced, first. Again, thirst, fast, forced, first. Again, thirst, fast, forced, first. Right? Good, well done. Now, any problems? First of all, the initial consonant. In A, it was dental. The other ones were all labiodental. A and D, thirst, first, do sound confusingly similar, of course, which you will probably see the difference. First and first. Otherwise, we had vowel differences. B, R, C, or D, fast, forced, first. Any problems there? There might be a problem also with C recognizing what the word is. This is, of course, the past tense of the verb to force. He forced me to do it. So. Good. Marvellous. Any problems? No? Anybody want anything compared and contrasted? No? Good. I expect the next one's very easy too. Rub, love, rob, rove. Rub, love, rob, rove. Rub, love, rob, rove. Rub, love, rob, rove. Last time, rub, love, rob, rove. So this is a problem with R and L and B and V, plus some vowels. Rub, first one. Love, the next one. Rob, steal, the next one. And rove, wander, be a wild rover, the last one. Any problems there? We did 2, I think, last time, didn't we? Shergelt and Secrundal. So we didn't do the third one in my list, which is Meervensee. 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 It's all a matter of Meervensee. 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 Last time, Meervensee. Meer, same vowel as near. Then a verb voice, dental fricative. Meervensee, schwa, and C. Now, if you've written like that, with a syllabic nasal, that is also acceptable. It's okay. Meervensee, very difficult to hear the difference between them. Meervensee. The last vowel, of course, I'm assuming this is the happy vowel, but it sounds probably just the same as if it were short E, so we won't worry about that. Meervensee.
I missed the T.
Yes! Well, let's listen to the difference. Yours would be Meervensee, Meervensee, Meervensee. Mine was Meervensee, Meervensee. Now, in fact, there's, for most speakers, no contrast between these two possibilities. so it really doesn't matter. And in a word like vacancy, stridency, you could have either of them.
How do you pronounce instead of ES with a voice?
With a Z at the end.
Yeah.
With great difficulty.
But without the teeth.
Oh, without the teeth.
Because I mistook.
Okay. Well, that would sound a bit different. That would be meer than Z. Meer than Z. Meer than Z. Mine was meer than C. Meer than C. So, I mean, my word sounds like the words spelled in English with that at the end. Meer than C. Yours would, well, there are a few words like that, but not many. Z. Is this voiced or voiceless? Meer than Z. Voiced. Meer than C. Voiceless. Meer than C. Voiceless. Meer than Z. Voiceless. That's it. Anything else? Sarah Paulishness. Sarah Paulishness. Sarah Paulishness. Sarah Paulishness. Sarah Paulishness. Last time, Sarah Paulishness. Sarah Paulishness. So it starts with Sarah, same vowel as in narrow and so on. Sarah Paulishness. So it ends in the same way as words such as foolishness. Sarah Paulishness. Got it right? Good, good, well done. Any queries? Who's asking that? Yeah, with a long R. Sarah, you mean her? Sarah Paulish. Sarah Paulish. Mine was Sarah Paulish. Well, it would be like saying narrow instead of narrow, or to carry something instead of to carry something, which, unless you came from Northern Ireland or perhaps Scotland, would sound very strange indeed. Yes. There are, of course, quite a few mental pairs in my kind of English. Bat and bard, cat and cart and so on. Cat is an animal, cart is a vehicle. Before an R, it's not so common because there aren't many words that have R in them. The name of the desert, the Sahara Desert, for example. Starry.
That was the word I was thinking.
Okay, yes, well, you see, carry and starry don't rhyme. Now, does an Indian woman, she wears a sari. Which is that like? Is it like carry or like starry? Sari. It's like starry, isn't it? Yeah, so that's the long vowel. Sari. Good. Anything else?
Yeah. Would it be wrong to write the I with a dot instead of the I with a sort of small capital I?
Yes, it would in this word, because there is. This is not the happy vowel. This is just the short E. It is a weak vowel, but it's the short weak vowel which we have with that symbol. Hi, we'd like 2 tickets for the Stonehenge trip. Hi, we'd like 2 tickets for the Stonehenge trip. Hi, we'd like 2 tickets for the Stonehenge trip. Hi, we'd like 2 tickets for the Stonehenge trip. Hi, we'd like 2 tickets for the Stonehenge trip. Hi, we'd like, there's that happy vowel, weak form of we, not exactly wid, not exactly we, but somewhere intermediate. We'd like 2 strong vowel there, stressed, tickets for the weak forms. Stonehenge, double stressed word, trip, compound, so nothing on trip. Stonehenge. Nucleus, well, there are two groups. One just for the first word high, and the rest of it is the other. The nucleus in the second one is on henge. Hi. Greeting, which didn't exist in my youth, but I got used to it, and I now even sometimes say it myself, though I used to think I never would. I have it as passive but not active, but now I've found myself saying it. So this is how language changes. I've acquired a new bit of vocabulary. It's very like the Japanese hai, meaning yes. What's the difference phonetically? If we compare English hi and my best Japanese hai, what's the difference? Good! Glottal stop at the end in Japanese. Japanese, short vowel gets a glottal stop after it. English doesn't. If you say hi in English, it would be heard as height, because a glottal stop in that position would count as T. Right. Here you are, sir. Here you, high head. Ah, sir. Low rise. Here you are. Here you are, sir. You has got the weak form of you, the neutralization. Here you are, sir. That will, meaning that will, contracted form. That will be 24 sounds. No D in pounds. There could have been. I could have said pounds, but I didn't. I said pounds. Position 50. Now, anything there? Yes. It is. I'm afraid it doesn't come out very well with this font. It gets shoved too far to the... It ought to be exactly underneath the letter L. And this is a shortcoming of my word processor. Multi-byte, to represent each character. There's a nice, again derived from Doulos, a nice font you can download from the department website, or from my website, free of charge. So you could do that. But that's the old type where you have to switch into the font and switch out again rather than staying in a Unicode font. Yes.
Do you like the name of the first one that I mentioned?
The name of what?
The first one that I mentioned.
Yes. Lucida Sans Unicode. And if you haven't got Lucida Sans Unicode, you can download that from the department site. And we are not breaking any copyright about that because I have made contact with the author of this font, and he is delighted to see it used as widely as possible, and so is very happy for us to make it available. Microsoft gives it to nearly everybody, which is why you don't need to download it from anywhere, but if you haven't got it, the author is very happy for me to give it to you.
There's also Times Roman phonetic.
Yes, not a very, that's the old style. That's E to A. We write it in this way. You know, 30 years ago, yes, we'd have written it with that vowel. And my pronunciation dates from that period, and I say 50. But if I were 30 years younger, I'd probably say 50. Be using something much tenser. Therefore, this is the satisfactory vowel to represent it nowadays, and that's what all modern pronunciation dictionaries do. It's not really a difference of sound, it's a matter of symbolization. Okay, where does it go from? 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 Last time. Where does it go from? Where does it go from? Does, that's a weak form. A weak form does. which I used. Where does it from in this final position doesn't weaken, has to stay strong because it's stranded. Where does it go from? Intonation again, high head, where does it, and a high fall go? Where does it go from? This, of course, is a WH question. WH questions usually have a fall. So following the rules, where does it go from? We'll pick you up right outside the hotel. We'll pick you up right outside the hotel. Last time, we'll pick you up right outside the hotel. We'll pick you up right outside the hotel. We'll, again, the weak form of we with the compromised vowel. You, weak form of you with the compromised vowel. We'll pick you up right outside the hotel. Now, intonation, it started low-pitched. We'll pick you up, da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da, low-pitched. Then it jumped up for right. We'll pick you up right outside the hotel. So this is a low pre-head with some stresses in it. Then a high head, high stepping head, right side, and a low fall on tail. Right outside the hotel. What time? What time? Which of those two syllables has the nucleus? Time. And what tone does it have? Time? I rise. Yes. What time? I rise. Time? 8 o'clock on Thursday morning. 8 o'clock on Thursday morning. Eight o'clock on Thursday morning. 8 o'clock on Thursday morning. First of all, a high fall and a low fall. Segments. What time? What time? What time? 8 o'clock. I said Thursday with D at the end. It can alternatively be pronounced Thursday. A. Good. Anything there? If you go to my homepage on the department website, so find my name, and then scroll down, you'll find a link to a document called Putting Phonetic Symbols in Your Word document. This is really intended for my students here who use the managed computers where they can't install software, can't install fonts, but it does explain how to use Lucida Sans Unicode and so on, and also gives you some other links that could be useful. You want the whole website address? I said the easiest way is to go to the department and then follow the trail. And what time will we be back? It's quite difficult with all of those unstressed words. Will we be? And what time will we be? Will we be? Will we be? Will we be? Will we be back? And what time will we be back? So we're going stepping ahead and a high fall. Thank you.